Hi, my name is Karen Bonacker, Painter Master, and I'd like to introduce you to a new brush pack called Leaves and Foliage for Painter. The first brush we're going to be taking a look at is called Aspen. And I'm going to apply it in certain parts of this painting, but I'll also do it on the side here so you can really see what this brush looks like. And I'm just going to kind of dab it in and paint with it here. And you can see that it's emulating the look of aspen trees, and that's what I was trying to achieve with the brush. Let me take a nice bright color here and put this in so you can see it. So it'd be a great brush for just creating leaves on trees, or of course you can always use it to add additional areas of foliage. The way I work typically is I will go with maybe a lighter value and then start sampling some of the color around that particular lightest value and then work into it to create a very natural gradient effect as the foliage moves through the landscape. The next brush is called Bamboo Forest, and this is a fun one. The way to work with this is just to simply brush up and make these nice you can use them as bamboo, or you could use them as reeds. And of course, you can always use them in your existing paintings for, creating the look of additional foliage, within your paintings. So that one is the Bamboo Forest. The next brush is Distant Trees. I especially like working with this one. It's very nice for creating distant trees that have kind of a gradient effect. So you can start up here with the lighter trees, and then as you put more pressure on the brush stroke, the tree line will start getting a little bit darker and darker. So it's a really nice one for creating that tree line. Of course, I enjoyed using it in here to create additional foliage and filling in areas that were a little bit sparse. So that's how typically I would use it there. And that is Distant Trees. The next one is Eucalyptus, and it emulates the eucalyptus tree leaves. So again, here I would probably use it on this tree, maybe just to add a few little leaves coming out. And of course, again, it's excellent for just using it to create little areas of foliage. That's Eucalyptus. The next one is called Ferny, and it's really emulating the look of ferns. And it's got some color variability built into it. So as you paint, you'll notice a little bit of color variability. And again, here I would use it probably, just to add some interest and maybe texture in the look of some ferns down here, something like that. The next brush is Frosted Evergreens, and this one is really a brush you just kind of want to dab with and paint across with. It'll give you a nice effect of evergreen trees. And you can see how I used it here just to, maybe fill in this area here with evergreen trees. The next brush is called Leafy, and this one, again, you just want to apply leaves where you want them. There's some color variability in this brush, so that makes it a little more realistic when you're adding leaves in certain parts of the painting. And that is called Leafy. The next brush is Maples, and this one, of course, is going to emulate the look of maple tree. I'll give you a nice big preview of this brush so you can see it. And here, again, I would probably use it, just to fill in areas. Again, you can use it for trees, or you can sample colors and use it in an existing, just to create the look of additional foliage on the ground. Very blendable as well. The next brush is Mossy Lichen, and this one I'm going to go with a lighter value here so you can kind of see it, but of course it's emulating the look of moss and lichen on the forest floor. And You just want to use it kind of sparingly. The next brush is Natural Leaves, and this is a pretty one, also has some color variability in it. And I'll use it here again to just kind of show you how it looks. It's kind of flows out and it gives you that opportunity to build big trees, and of course with different values. And that is Natural Leaves. The next brush is called Pines, and this one I like working from the bottom and brushing up, so the stroke would be from the bottom to the top, and it's just kind of like this, and it's going to create these nice beautiful pine trees. And maybe we'll just put one in right here against the backdrop and sunset, and that is Pines. The next brush is Soft Foliage, and this one you can see as I paint in the example, really nice just for adding little areas of foliage where you might need to fill in certain parts of your landscapes or illustrations. And that one is called Soft Foliage. The next brush is called Sunflower Center, and I'm going to use a dark color here, but you'll see it's just kind of a texture brush. I've used it for the inside of flowers. It's great for using small and adding texture where you might need some texture to be added. So you can kind of work with it that way. You can even use it to create little patches of flowers. Something like that. And that is Sunflower Center. Tropical Foliage is the next brush. And this one I really like. It's very soft, very subtle, but very fluid. It has a lot of liquid appearance to it. It's a drip method. So when you add, you'll want to use it at different sizes, but you can see that it's really good for, it would be really good for creating sunset, like tropical foliage against the sunset, that type of thing. The last brush is called Tumbleweed, and I'm going to show you this with a kind of a light value here so you can really see this. Again, a great brush for filling in areas where you need to fill in some extra foliage. You'll notice when I sample color here and start to pull it in, let's go a little lighter here. You can see it's very feathery, very light, and very subtle. And that's what I really like about it. But a wonderful brush for filling in areas of your landscape where you need to add a little extra texture or just a little extra something. Even showing it against a light background gives you that feeling of depth and distance there, where it emulates the look of a tree maybe in the background area here. Okay, so I hope you enjoy these beautiful brushes called Leaves and Foliage, and take care.